So to start this look, I'm gonna do a little bit of skin prep. I've already got most of my skincare on, but I'm gonna go in with an SPF and then a little bit of a primer. I'm using up the very last of my, it's upside down because I'm like trying to get all the product down here. Summer Fridays though, their shade drops. This is their SPF 30 sunscreen. I just posted a video about my favorite sunscreens to wear under makeup. This is absolutely one of them. I mentioned in that video the only reason I strayed away from this guy was because during the summer months, I really just wanted something with a higher SPF because this one has SPF 30, which is great. And like, if it's, you know, that or nothing, like obviously it's a great SPF to wear. But I just wanted something with at least like 40, 45 SPF. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Denisomyrix. This is the Yummy Skin Water Power Serum. I've mentioned this a few times on my channel, really have been liking this primer a lot, particularly in the summer months. Like this has just been such a staple to lightly mattify my skin before going in with any complexion products. And hint, hint, that's especially important for today. So I just focus it primarily on the T-zone and then kind of like work it out to the perimeter of my face. Then I do also have my brows done. I did those before I started filming today. So skin is prepped. We're ready to go. And now time to kind of get into the meat of today. So we're talking about the new Charlotte Tilbury. I have the website pulled up because this name is such a mouthful. It is the Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. What? It's a foundation stick. We're just gonna call it, for the sake of this video, the Charlotte Tilbury foundation stick. It comes in 20 shades and I picked up the shade Too Fair. So first off, let's just talk about the packaging. 10 out of 10, absolutely nailed it. It has the embossed logo on the front, really nice. It's plastic, but it's a really nice hardy plastic packaging. Fluted top, as you can see, and then this is the product inside the packaging. You get a total of 9 grams of product in this foundation stick, and just to like show you exactly what that looks like, I feel like I'm kind of tempting fate as I get to this point. That's how much product is in the bullet. I've used this now for probably a week, almost every day. I think I've worn this about 5 or 6 times now. Probably have worn it for 2 to 3 full day wear tests, and then like 2 to 3, like, I don't know, 4 to 6 hour wear tests. I picked this up when I went to Las Vegas last week. Kid you not, you guys, like I work for Sephora. One day off, I'm back in a Sephora again to pick this up. So again, this is the shade 2. I'll just swatch it here on my arm so you can see. And I mean, look at that glow. Look at that glow. I am obviously going to be talking a bit about this today in comparison to her Hollywood Flawless filter. For reference, I have the shade 2.5 of the Hollywood Flawless filter. And just to show you guys, swatches next to one another. So again, this is the foundation stick on this side, Hollywood Flawless filter on this side. So you can kind of see, I definitely think that the Hollywood Flawless filter still has a more intense glow, where both of these have like a slight peach undertone, which works well for me typically. But to get into the nitty gritty of this guy right here. So first and foremost, I have no idea why they called this a foundation stick. This, to be very clear, is skin tint coverage at best. Like it's a very light skin tint. In terms of the actual coverage that you'll get from the product. And it is said online to have a ring light effect to the face. So I was impressed with this product that they expanded the shade range. Hollywood Flawless filter desperately needs that. So kudos to them for expanding the shade range in this guy. Let's just go ahead and start putting this on right away. So one thing that I do really like about this product is that it glides on super easily to the skin. So one product that I feel like is pretty comparable in this regard is the Fenty Eavesdrop stick. So I feel like the glide of both of these is really similar. So if you like the Fenty Eavesdrop and the smoothing effect that it gives the skin, you'll probably enjoy the way that this applies as well. And then I'm just gonna take my Merit brush. This is what I use for all of like my stick foundations. and just start blending it in. So obviously whenever I get a new product, I like to compare it to what I've already got, which for me means the Fenty Eavesdrop stick as well as the Merit complexion stick. So the Charlotte Tilbury foundation stick retails for $46. Now, I have said this before on my channel, but just to be very, very transparent with you guys, as a Sephora employee, I do get a discount. So I get a 30% discount off of all products and then 40% off of the Sephora collection. So I paid $34 for this product, just again, in full transparency. Again, you get 9 grams of product in this for, I think that comes out to, I did the math, it's like $5.11 per gram. The Fenty is $36 retail. You also get 9 grams of product in this guy, which comes out to $4 a gram. Merit Perfecting Complexion Stick is $38, but you only get 6.5 grams of product. So on a per gram basis, the Merit is most expensive at $5.87 per gram. Fenty is going to be the cheapest at $4 per gram. And then again, Charlotte Tilbury at $5.11 per gram. I was pretty surprised to see that Charlotte was not the most expensive out of those. Not surprised that Fenty was the most affordable out of the 3, but I kind of figured that Charlotte would be a little more pricey than Merit, but I guess not. So here we are with it on. I'm sure you can see in the camera, I'll bring you up a little closer, but like, we're glowing. We're really, really glowing. She's real glowy. One thing that I do also like about this that again, I feel like is really similar to the Fenty stick is it is buildable, but like, I mean, I see every like little spot imperfection on my face still, which is okay. But again, this is like a skin tint coverage to me. This is not a foundation, but it is pretty buildable. So like I usually like a little bit more coverage on my cheeks where I've got some redness, and great that it's buildable. Like I think that's a really good quality to have. But obviously with this product, as you increase the coverage, you're also adding the glow back in. And for me, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. I love like a glowy looking skin, but I don't love it all over my entire face. And just even right now, even though I did a lighter skin prep than I normally would have, I used a little bit more mattifying sunscreen and a mattifying primer, I feel just like greaseball central. So right off the bat, I'll tell you guys, I definitely feel like with this product, I have to use a lot more powder than I normally would. So we're gonna get into that in a second, but this is just the complexion stick on, no other powders, products, etc. She's glowy, we're glowing. I'm gonna start adding in some other products that I normally would. Some of these are new to me that I also grabbed when I was at a Sephora in Las Vegas, so we can kind of talk about those. One of them was the Huda Beauty, this is their color corrector in Pink Pomelo. The faux filter corrector is what it's called. So I'm just gonna go in with a bit of this under the eyes to start and do just about that. I really like the undertones of this. It's a little different than the Cali Ray corrector that I've been using a bit as well. I feel like the formula is a little bit thicker and just kind of stays in place a little bit more than with the Cali Ray. It's a little bit of a, I guess, a more watery consistency. And I feel like this one, it's just got a little more grip to it. Just gonna blend that in, keeping it concentrated right under the eye. Then I'm gonna go in just with my Haus Labs concealer. This is in the shade 11 Light Neutral to brighten up where I just put that color corrector on. I'm just gonna do a little, I've been really enjoying doing this lately, just a little lift of the eyes. So just gonna start to blend this in. And then I've just been kind of dragging my beauty blender up with that little swipe of concealer by the eye. And do you see how that just kind of like added a natural, kind of like reverse contouring almost, but just added a little natural shadow and a little natural lift to the eye. And then I'm just gonna take the excess of what's left of the concealer on my beauty blender, really just over my nose, kind of in the center of my face, and hoping to reduce just a little bit of that glow. This is where I feel like I have to start treating my makeup steps a little differently with the foundation stick. I normally would go in with cream bronzer or contour and blush, and then I would set with a powder. With the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation stick, I just feel like it's too many cream products if I were to do that. So I'm just gonna go in with powders for both and call that good. So I must be in a Haus Labs mood today. I grabbed both the powder bronzer, this is in light level 3, and then their powder blush in the shade Hibiscus Haze. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the blush. These are pretty pigmented if you haven't tried them yet, so I don't find the need to go in with too much, but it does give a really nice blurred effect to the skin. And again, I wanna make sure and use a mattifying blush so that it's not gonna add any additional glow to the skin. And then we'll go in and add a powder bronzer. Just going to take a bit of the powder bronzer, add that on as well. I probably should have just clipped my hair back for this, but too late now. And then when it comes to setting the rest of the face, this is, again, I feel like I've had to change this step in my makeup routine to make this foundation stick work for me. Going in with the Huda Beauty powder in Cherry Blossom, I've started baking a little bit with this to help keep at bay some of the glow, which, like, I don't bake. I don't bake in my normal makeup routine, but in order to not feel just like a shiny disco ball, I feel like I have to. So I'm just going to take some of this powder. This is like really random, but I just pour it onto a Kleenex here. And then I'm gonna take a powder puff and really load it up. Like, I've got that much on. Normally I would always swirl this on my hand so I don't over apply, but I'm really just going to take that and put it on my cheek and chin. And I mean, that's a lot of powder for me, but I don't actually on the face feel like it looks like that much, because again, we're just trying to control that glow. So again, same thing on this side. And I don't leave it on. I kind of, as you can see, I'm kind of trying to like move the powder around a bit so it's not like a true bake, as in you're like letting it sit on your face for a few minutes before you move it. And then from those two swipes, I'm taking the excess and putting it around the mouth. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more yet here, and I'm gonna start patting this into my forehead. And I guess I don't really know how to like bake on your forehead, but I'm putting so much more on than I normally would. And then I'm gonna go in, take the last little bit of this and set the nose. And I do just kind of like take it down the nose and then swipe it to the side a bit and then take the excess over top. Now, here's the thing. Right now, I feel like this actually, like, this looks pretty good. Like, I'm happy with how this looks. I feel like I have completely taken away the entire point of this foundation stick, which is to have a glow, because right now I feel like my face looks fairly matte, but it has a nice light skin tint coverage. So I don't know, make it make sense. Like, we put it on and then we took it away and now it looks fine. I don't know. I'm just like really confused with this right now. Because the thing is, with Flawless Filter, you put it on and then you normally put like a layer of complexion on top of it, whether it be a skin tint or a full coverage foundation. With this, I feel like it's meant to be used on its own. And so to mattify the whole face or to put another product on top of this to make it work and not be so shiny seems really counterintuitive to me. If you have really dry skin, this is gonna be great. Like, I really think that you would enjoy this. I also think that I will like this far, far more in the winter time when my skin is just drier and I want to look a little bit more hydrated. But y'all, it's like 95, 100 degrees and 85% humidity out here right now where I live. And so like, I have a natural glow from my sweat, like truly, like I don't need more glow right now. So I don't know. This one is just throwing me for a loop, Charlotte. Next, I'm gonna go in with this One Size gel eyeliner. This is their waterproof eyeliner pencil in the shade Busty Brown. This is so beautiful. I've been really loving this, and I'm just going to lightly line right along my lash line here. I love the color of this brown. It's a perfect, rich, chocolatey brown, and it does just glide over the skin like butter. It's wonderful. So I was out of my black lash clash, and I've been so obsessed with my brown Tower 28 mascara that I was like, oh, I'll try the YSL brown mascara. I don't know if anyone else has found this. I don't like it as much. One, the color is not as rich and deep as the Tower 28 brown is. It leans a little bit more red almost, in my opinion, and I could be crazy, but I don't feel like the formula is the same. I don't think that it's quite as buildable. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a really beautiful mascara, but it just doesn't have the same like oomph that the black did. That was kind of a bummer, I'm not gonna lie, but live and learn. So I did also pick up, this is the very first Pat McGrath's purchase that I've made. Obviously, she's most infamous for her eyeshadows. I just like don't need another eyeshadow palette right now. But this is her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. I picked up the shade Baby Pink. I just started to feel like the Huda Beauty powder was a little drying under the eyes. It just looked a little heavy under me. So I wanted something a little lighter, and I'm just taking, this is the Makeup by Mario F1 brush, just the small end. I don't know if this is like the best brush for this, but it's just what I have in front of me right now. And I'm just going to lightly set the under eyes here and call it good. Lately, I've been finding that just not overdoing it with setting the under eyes has really helped prevent a little bit of creasing and whatnot. So I think that looks really good for now. My Sephora that I work at doesn't have the full line of Huda Beauty. We only have her mini powders that we sell in store, which is kind of a bummer because I feel like there are some really good things in her line. One of them being their lip contours. So I picked up the shade Warm Brown, and then it actually came in a set. So it came with her faux filler lip gloss, and this is just in the clear shade. These are so nice and creamy. I really have been enjoying those lip contours, and they dry down really well. So they feel super creamy, easy to glide on as you're applying it, but then it does dry down really nicely. And then I'm just dabbing a bit of this faux filler gloss just in the center mostly. Okay, so y'all, here is the final look. Final thoughts on this. Here's the thing. On its own, I like the product on its own. I'm like very hesitant to say this because there's like many follow-up thoughts to that. So if you have really dry skin, this would be a good product for you. If you have dry skin and you like a light skin tint coverage, awesome product. Where I feel like the brand really missed the mark is a couple of areas. One, innovation. Like, I would be really hard pressed to think that anyone would be able to tell a huge difference between these two products. And for a brand like Charlotte Tilbury, an iconic, massive global beauty brand, like, it feels like we just got another one of the same things. So that's a bit of a bummer. I would have been a lot more excited if this foundation stick would have just been like a natural finish. I haven't tried any of the other foundations in her complexion line, so I can't personally speak to that, but I do know that they're quite heavy. And so to have like a skin tint option is a really great move for the brand, but I think just having like so much glow all of the time was a bit of a miss. Now, it is fairly in line with Charlotte Tilbury, like it's very much on brand for her, but it's a little limiting to the amount of people that would be able to use and enjoy this. So again, I mentioned if you have dry skin, this could be a really good foundation stick, but if you have texture, if you have pores, if you have acne, like this is not going to be a good move for you. And I feel like that's really limiting to a lot of the population. If we're being real, basically, if you have like perfect skin, this is a good foundation stick for you. But that's not ideal for a brand to just really offer like a very siloed product for a small group of people, in my opinion. I do think like it looks nice on the skin, but I feel like I have to take extra steps to make it look nice, which inevitably, like with all of the powders, takes away from some of the like intended use of the product. So I don't know, I'm a little conflicted on this for myself. Again, I don't see myself reaching for this much at all in the hot summer months, maybe a bit more in the winter. Just another note, I certainly don't think that you need both. I would honestly probably just go with Flawless Filter. It just is a little bit more like multi-purpose, I think, than this, but gives such a nearly exact same finish. I think that it looks pretty. I think I had to do, you know, a few extra steps to get it here. So I can't say that I like fully recommend this product unless like you, again, you have that dry skin, you don't have Flawless Filter, and you've been wanting to try something from the complexion line. Perhaps then it's a good buy for you. But for me, this was kind of a miss overall. If you've picked this up, let me know in the comments how you're liking it, how it's working for you. Or if you've been thinking about buying this product, I hope that this video was helpful one way or the other for you in your purchase decision. As always, my name is Molly, and I'm super grateful that you guys have joined me today. Thank you as always so much for joining me to chat about the beauty of it all, and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.